Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are again with an amazing webinar on how consumer health is evolving towards immunity first solutions. I am Puneet Khurana. I am accompanied by Mr. Prince Thomas. Before we start the webinar, we'll take a 30-second pause just to let everybody settle down. Please feel free to dump in your questions in the chat box. We'll be happy to answer in the end. So let's start the webinar with the overview. Uh, we see that there is a shift in healthcare perspectives. So with respect to the current scenario, we see that there are a lot of respiratory ailments, the overall healthcare system. There has been a lot of treatment cost, as we see that for influenza there is 11 billion annually, which is the treatment cost. For RSV it's around 6 billion per year in the US. So to tackle all these problems, US households, they spend over approximately $645 per year on OTC medications. And we have also seen that Americans usually spend around 45 billion annually on dietary supplements. The aim of using these dietary supplements to have a more proactive approach and to be more preventive in their nature rather than treating a disease. So the shift that we see today is becoming more preventive and more proactive. Yes, this is the slide where we see that previously there was a reactive wellness. Traditionally, healthcare was focused upon treating a diseases, but now it's becoming more proactive. It's focusing on preventing a disease, maintaining optimal health, and enhancing overall well-being. Or we can also say that it is oriented towards a holistic well-being approach. Also, why now? We see that due to there is a lot of technological innovations right now. The consumers are more informed, they are more aware, they have more knowledge. Also, we see that there is an escalating healthcare cost. We have discussed in the previous slide that there's a huge healthcare treatment cost. So to save that overall cost and treatment burden, this is the transition that we are seeing. Also, there is a demographic shift. We'll be coming into the details in subsequent slides where we see there's a lot of aging population coming up, people who are working in offices, who are the main cohorts, who is actually driving the shift. Here we have some statistics, like we see that how the shift is or how you can quantify the shift. We have seen that 70% of individuals, they prioritize preventive healthcare measures. 50% use some kind of devices to track their overall health systems. 40%, there is an increase in 40% in consumer interest in probiotic infused foods and beverages, and almost 80% of consumers, they expect brands to support their mental well-being. So the shift is not only towards, making your body healthy, but it is, again, we see that the shift is oriented towards an holistic approach. Having a deeper insight into the consumer scenario, what today consumers are looking at, when we see, Prince, can we go to the next slide? Yeah, we see different kind of demographics that have different kind of unique needs that can be, fulfilled with the help of immunity first solutions. And specifically when we talk about respiratory health and respiratory wellness. So for example, there are cohorts like elderly people who have weak immunities and they are also challenged by comorbidities, who are already taking multiple medications at the same time. So what they are actually looking for, a highly absorbable immune boosting ingredients and a comprehensive immune system reinforcement. So an approach which can be easily inculcated in their daily lifestyle and which is not interfering with the current medications that they are taking. So something which is very unique, which can be very much personalized for the elderly. Similarly goes for children who have got frequent infections, caregivers or the sandwich generation, athletes who are looking for optimized nutrition and proactive immune support, which can be quickly absorbed due to their rigorous and active lifestyle. Office workers who are exposed to confined spaces and stressful environments, pregnant women, as we know that there is an increased infection risk due to altered immunity in pregnant women. So they are also looking for certain kind of safe and non-pharmacological methods which are not giving other side effects to pregnant women. Similarly goes with people with allergies and asthma and not leaving the frontline workers. So these are all certain kind of demographics that we covered who are actually looking for certain kind of personalized solutions or solutions where they can prioritize their immunity first. And there's a lot of population out there globally which might cover maybe billions of people that we are showcasing here. So a huge market we are talking about here. Okay, so we have understood that yes, these are the consumer groups, these are the target consumer groups, and these are their specific needs. But now we would understand how the industry is approaching to proactive wellness and what are they doing to cater to the needs of the consumers. So Prince, I think you will take us to this journey afterwards. Yes, Prince.
Thank you, Puneet. So now, since we have discussed what the consumer needs are, and since we have an idea that proactive wellness is the need of the hour, the upcoming slides will discuss what different competitors and players in the consumer healthcare space are doing to address these needs. From a player perspective, the industry players are taking a 360-degree approach to address different challenges posed by different demographics in the proactive wellness space. As you can see, players are looking to offer solutions in different OTC categories such as cold and flu, digestive health, nutrition, sleep, etc. So they are trying to tackle the problem through different angles. And the key areas of development that they have shortlisted to achieve this goal include cohort-based personalization, where you have personalization of products according to different needs, food as a medicine, where food products are modified to provide additional benefits, non-pharmacological approaches where non-drug solutions are being provided for people who cannot use drugs, gut-brain axis where the gut-brain axis is utilized to improve immunity, and a few other examples like invisible medicine, new formats, and other delivery systems as well. We will be focusing on detail on each of these topics in the upcoming slides. Let's start with personalization first. Personalization is one of the most important aspects that the customer of today looks towards to when thinking about proactive wellness. different companies are working on different aspects of personalization, but one thing that we find in common is that they are focusing on personalization not on an individual basis, but for personalization as a cohort. For example, if we look at the first example here, the Bionic Personal Supplement, these are 3D printed gummy stacks that are manufactured using 3D printed technology, using an algorithm which takes responses from a quiz to provide you personalized gummy stacks. So the ingredients of these gummy stacks can change based on how you respond to this survey. So different population groups such as elderly, Gen Z, or office workers may perform different responses to this survey. So they'll get a personalized product according to their own requirements. So in this way, other companies like Viome and Brio are also developing other formats which utilize personalization to provide some benefit to the end customer. Moving on, next one is food as a medicine. So this is another interesting concept that has been coming up over the past few years, particularly fueled by the newer generation, the Gen Z and the millennials. So what food as a medicine means is that people don't want to feel that they are sick. So one of the ways they want to achieve this is by not taking pills or any other kind of products that makes them feel that they are having any issues. One of the ways in which the industry is trying to approach this problem is through functional foods and other such products. Functional foods enriched with particular nutrients or ingredients that can support the immune system and provide proactive protection is something that is a market that is very steadily growing and has significant presence in the US and other European countries as well. If I take an example of the Good Belly probiotic juice, which is one such particular functional food which is currently available in the market, it has key ingredients that fortify the gut microbiome and improve the overall immune health of the patient, thereby not requiring any other OTC products for immune protection. Some of the other examples that we have also given here include micronutrient stacks, probiotic and symbiotic combinations, oral probiotics for the oral microbiome, and other lactoferrin and biopeptide based solutions. So there are different ways in which food can be converted into a functional food. Some of these examples are listed here.
So again, Prince, if I would just like to add here, so if we are saying that this is also pointing towards one of the trend where you initially mentioned that people are not willing to take medicines now, as such medicines, because there is a kind of pill fatigue or something like that. So
Yeah.
they are actually looking for a trend where there is a regular intake of certain kind of nutrients or certain things, or maybe some kind of immunity booster ingredients into their daily food, so that they are not feeling as if they are taking a medicine, but a food as if serving as an immunity booster ingredient for them.
Yeah, there are several approaches to the pill fatigue problem as well. As you mentioned, functional food is one such approach. We'll also discuss how new formats and delivery systems are also addressing this challenge in the upcoming slides.
Okay, let's go ahead.
Moving on, the next main topic which needs to be addressed is non-pharmacological solutions. So currently the solutions that are available in the market for proactive wellness solutions, or even if it's a general cold and flu products, these are OTC products that contain APIs and other ingredients which react with the body and produce a result. So the challenge with such solutions currently is that some of the populations or demographics that we have discussed previously, like the elderly, so they do not have an intact immune system or an intact digestive tract. They have certain issues and they have certain imbalances, which makes it difficult for them to absorb, digest, or even sometimes consume these kind of medications. It could be due to a comorbidity, it could be due to other medications they are taking. So there is always a risk that these people need some alternate forms of treatment that are non-pharmacological. One of the most perfect examples of these, which is currently available in the market, is that of mucosal defense enhancers. These are nothing but sprays that can be used in the nasal or oral cavity that uh, create a film in the mucus or oral cavity that provides protection against pathogen, so they can't come in contact with the mucosal or oral cavity. So these contains mostly ingredients like carrageenan, which are known as natural ingredients which form which have barrier forming properties, and they shield the body against different kinds of infections. Other than these kind of innovations, we also have digital innovations like neuroadaptive sleep wearables and digital tools such as Cuff Pro, which do real-time monitoring to provide real-time updates on the health of a person. So these are some things that are also being worked upon. Next part is new formats. So like Puneet was mentioning, pill fatigue is one of the common trends that we see across different population groups. So one of the main innovations that the industry has developed to overcome this is new formats for different demographics. So earlier new formats were only for the elderly or the children who had difficulty in swallowing or taking medicine, or they didn't like medicine. So they had to come up with new formats to overcome this issue. But now different formats are available for different age groups and demographics based on different needs. So one of the examples that I would like to highlight is that of emergency crystals. So these are crystal form products which dissolve in the mouth and have increased bioavailability and have better compliance and portability. So new formats like these and other formats such as mushroom-based sleep aids and enzyme-based digestive optimizers, they are being developed to address different unmet needs of different target demographics and address them in a convenient way. And finally, we have delivery systems. So this is I would say, the most worked upon topic in the industry at present. People are trying to come up with new and enhanced delivery systems so that more people are able to absorb the drugs efficiently. Since most of the products in the OTC space are consumed orally and they are absorbed by the body systemically, we need to come up with delivery systems that can ensure that these drugs survive in the digestive tract long enough so that they are absorbed by the body. In certain demographics, such as the elderly, where the acidic content of the stomachs increases with age, there is a high probability that normal drugs that we take for cold and flu, they won't survive long enough for it to be absorbed by the body. So we can have technologies like liposomal encapsulation or nano in an emulsified formulation, which would ensure that these drugs last long enough in the body so that they are absorbed and they provide the targeted relief that is claimed. Other examples of delivery systems we have also observed include Seed DS1 by Biocap and Activa probiotic dialysis. So these are again formats which are using new delivery systems.
So, Prince, just to add on here, so delivery systems, so it is not only with respect to body, but we can also say that there are a lot of delivery systems we have seen for probiotics as well. So again, probiotics, which are live bacteria or the spores, which are often prone to degradation in the acidic environment. So our targeted delivery system so that they are reaching the proper site in the GIT, they are also, I think, very important. Can you comment on that as well?
Yes, so as I mentioned previously, the players are approaching treatment and proactive wellness through a 360-degree scope. So one of the categories that we saw previously in one of the previous slides was also on digestive health. So probiotics are, and this has always been a challenge with probiotics, that how do you deliver probiotics and get them where they need to be in a safe and timely manner. So some of these delivery systems are being developed so that these probiotics could survive long enough in the digestive tract, and they are also developing alternate formats such as the non-systemic formats such as sprays, where you have nasal or oral sprays for the oral microbiome. So different formats are also being developed for the same thing. So different options are there for probiotics as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Moving on, let's take a look at what the future outlook of the proactive wellness industry looks like. So from a wellness perspective, as we have seen previously, the consumer sentiment is moving from a reactive to a proactive image. So people are looking for more broad immune boosting supplements, and they want a more dynamic defense rather than a static one where they feel safe and protected wherever they go. And they want wellness that moves beyond general support to precise shielding. So again, the personalization aspect. From a technology evolution perspective, players are leveraging new technologies such as AI and other digitalization tools to cater to demographics based on risk factor, and also they are developing new kind of delivery systems like oral films and nasal balms, which address current unmet needs of existing demographics. From a consumer perspective, consumers are seeking more accessible, convenient, and invisible medicine that offers highly effective personalized protection. They want a solution that they can seamlessly integrate into their existing lifestyle without feeling the need to take additional medication or any other kind of intervention. So that's it from the future outlook part. Now let's move on to the question and answers part.
Yes, so we have got some questions, Prince, on the chat, but I think due to looking at the time constraint we have, maybe we can have a couple of questions. So the first question is, we have talked about uh, probiotics and digestive health supplements. So how digestive supplements are helping in improving proactive respiratory health? This is the first
So
question.
one thing we know that is that the human body is home to the millions of bacteria that naturally exist normally in our body. It's known as the gut microbiome. So the gut microbiome has an in undeniable link to the immune system as well. In some populations, maybe due to lifestyle or age or any other factors, this microbiome balance is disturbed, and as a result, immunity in a roundabout way is also affected. So if we can have personalized solution that address this microbiome disbalance for different kinds of population, then we can ensure that from a microbiome perspective, you are immunologically shielded against any kind of infections. So that is one way of looking at it.
Okay, and also just to add on to that, we are not only talking about the microbiome which are in the GIT on the intestines and the stomach and all, but we are also talking about the microbiome which are present in the oral cavity, also in the upper area of the larynx and pharynx and the windpipe. So there are also microbiome which play a vital role in maintaining a good immune system, and that suppresses the growth of harmful bacteria in that region, again linked to the to the respiratory wellness and respiratory uh, being more immunity in the respiratory area.
Yeah, absolutely.
uh, and one last question, Prince, we can take up. We have talked about the new formats. What are the challenges that are being faced by the industry in developing these new delivery formats?
So the biggest challenge in developing new formats such as sprays or oral films or strip is that of product concentration. So how do you ensure that the person using an oral spray or a nasal spray gets the correct dosage? See, when you are taking a pill, you know what quantity of drug you are getting, but from a spray or any other kind of formats that is locally delivered, it's quite difficult either to ensure the correct dosage or to ensure that you can load the correct dosage onto the formats itself. So oral films and oral strips have these kind of limitations. So companies are currently working to overcome these challenges using new materials, and we can expect to see new products with solutions with these challenges addressed in the future as well.
Yeah, I think we are done with our webinar. So if there are any further questions, please feel free to reach out us through the email. We'll be happy to answer those questions and respond to you as soon as possible. So again, thank you all. Thank you for joining us today with this webinar. It was a pleasure sharing this insights, sharing this all amazing knowledge that we had with you all. And thank you for the patient listening. We'll be meeting again with another piece of good information covering a hot industry topic in future. And thank you all, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the patient listening.